from the University of Houston. I'm from the University of Houston, Clear Lake, and I'll be presenting today about the university admission programs, scholarships, and everything else that is related to your interest. And after my presentation, you may ask me any questions you wish. Okay, so I'll be sharing the screen. Just a second. Give me a sec. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen now.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, very good. All right. So as I said, I represent University of Houston Clear Lake, and from this moment I will start abbreviating the name of the school as UHCL so that I can save some time because it's a long name. So I'm from the Office of Global Learning and Strategy, and within our office we have several divisions. One of them is international admissions, and this is where I am from. All right, so my name is Tanya Orndorff. I'm International Outreach Manager. I also included the name of the director of the International Admissions Office, Dr. McClendon. I'm international as well. I'm originally from Ukraine. I've been living in the United States for a long time now. I'm an American citizen, but I know what it takes to apply for visa and come from a different country to the United States when you have never been to this country, and what it takes to learn and adjust yourself. I always take pleasure to assist international students from all over the world, and we have a lot of them from different countries. So today's webinar, I divided into 3 parts: choosing UHCL as a school of your destination, application process, and then we will cover all your questions. So when you choose American school or any other school in another country, you always look at several factors. So some of them are location, ranking of the school, the program qualities that school offers, how affordable the school is, the class size at the school, and how active the school is in regards to student engagement. So we are located, UHCL is located in Houston, in one of the biggest cities in the United States. It's also in one of the biggest states in the United States. So Houston is multinational, multicultural. It speaks more than 145 languages. It has at least 92 consular offices. It has one of the biggest airports that connects Houston to at least 70 international destinations. And some of them are just one stop. We also have world's largest medical center in the world, and that center needs all kinds of professions. So students can find jobs related to IT, education, business, and human sciences as well. We are located next to NASA Space Center, and that's what makes us very popular and famous. In fact, NASA Space Center needed their employees, their professionals to be educated. That's why UHCL was set up right next to it, so that we could help professionals to be educated. Houston also has a very big energy corridor, and it's a very famous corridor. Everyone who is in oil and gas and all other supporting chemistry related businesses know about this corridor. Corridor is a part of Houston where the biggest world famous oil and gas companies are located. So Houston, you can say that it's the capital of oil and gas industry in regards to the offices, headquarters, and associated businesses. Houston also hosts Houston Rodeo Show, and it's a very big attraction to tourists all over the world and from the United States as well. And we also have a nice weather. liked by almost every nation in the world. All right, so some facts about UHCL. The school was founded in 1974 and it's located in a rather big piece of land which has a lake. So it's really located next to the lake. College has its own art gallery, has its own theater, and 4 colleges. It has several campuses. One of them is a main campus at Clear Lake. The other one is a Pearland, and one more is a Texas Medical Center, TMC. And of course, in addition to that, most of the programs are also offered online, 100% online. So the current student population is 9,000 plus, and school offers more than 90 programs, undergraduate programs and graduate programs. The class size is 16:1. We have 565 teaching and research faculty currently at the school. And we have at least 75,000 alumni, and among them, 10 astronauts that studied at UHCL and graduated. We are in a very safe area. We are ranked 15th for best campus security. And that's also one of the factors that students choose. So these are our demographics of the students. Currently, we have more undergraduate student population. However, every year we see the tendency of graduate student population growing. So as you see, this is how it's divided, 9,000 plus, more undergraduates than graduate. So as I mentioned, university has 4 colleges. One of them is business. Then next is science and engineering. Both are very popular among international students. Human Sciences and Humanities College, and then Education College. Among international students, the top countries of origin are India, Vietnam, China, and Nigeria. And most popular majors in the College of Science and Engineering is computer science. It's #1. The other popular program, which has been recently approved, is data science. And data science is a very unique, very popular, in a high demand program. In the College of Business, the #1 popular program among international students is Management Information Systems. And of course, MBA, and very unique specialized program, which is called Healthcare Administration. So Healthcare Administration programs that allows graduates to work at hospitals, at medical offices, and doctor's offices as well. And we also have a combined program, a joint MBA and healthcare administration. In the College of Human Sciences and Humanities, we have a very popular program, which is called Industrial Organizational Psychology, and also Exercise and Health Sciences. And in the College of Education, we have a Master's in Education program, Early Childhood, and Education Management. Okay, so international student population comprise 66% of the total population at UHCL, and they come from more than 40 countries. School provides various cultural activities for all students, including international students as well. Each college has its own distinction and high ranking accreditation. For instance, College of Science and Engineering is accredited by Board of Engineering and Technology, ABET, on only one of 10 American universities with computing programs accredited under 3 different curriculum guidelines of ABET. College of Business is accredited by AACSB International and as Association for Advanced Collegiate School of Businesses. Fewer than 10% of business schools have this accreditation. College of Education and College of Human Sciences and Humanities have also high ranking accreditations as well. All colleges have a lot of famous faculty who are involved in teaching and research. UHCL is ranked 18th top public school for regional universities West and 43rd best regional universities in the West. School is oriented at STEM programs. We have specialized centers and institutes that support STEM programs. We have built a STEM classroom building recently, and the second building is going to be built. We have also built health sciences and classroom building, and we are advancing in mechanical engineering program. This is some of the example of centers and institutes that support all kind of disciplines. As you see, Cybersecurity Institute, Center for Robotic Software, and a long list where students can connect with faculty on a variety of projects to build their skills and to advance in academic programs. One institute that I wanted to mention is Institute of Diplomacy. It's at the bottom of the list, which was set up by our head of the department, is Associate Provost, Dr. Gigi Do, who is also international. She's originally from Vietnam. So she set this Institute of Diplomacy based on mutual agreement between Qatar, State of Qatar, and UHCL. And this Institute of Diplomacy provides different programs to universities, students, and faculty and staff as well. One of the program is that our office has provided is a Summer Internship Institute. We were the only school during COVID 2020 pandemic when everything was closed, as you know, no jobs were available. So this Summer Institute offered international students virtual internships and paid them money. So this year, in 2021, this Summer Institute offered internships again, but this time was a real internship where students were connected with employers and worked. And each student who was selected in this program received $2,500 for a short internship. So that was an excellent opportunity for international students get their skills be tested and also add internship to their resume to help them to find a better job after they graduate. UHCL provides has different student organizations, and we are proud to say that we are the school with the biggest number of student organizations, over 95. Some of them are academic, some of them are cultural, intercultural, religious. So we do have a Vietnamese Student Association, Indian, African, and such. So all kind of clubs and organizations that students can connect, find friends, or connect with based on their interests. UHCL provides excellent support services, academic support, among them as a computing labs, library, student success center, math center. Among student support, there is an Office Student Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, who has its own coordinator that works specifically with international students. One of the activities that they provide is a free tour to the NASA Space Center. So there is a museum that students can be taken there, and they could see Space Center and all that is connected to the greatest discoveries of the space. We also have Korean counseling services, that is dedicated office that helps students to find employment and also prepares them during their academic program, for instance, in regards to the interview skills, or how to write a resume, so how to build your skills and find a better profession. We also have dedicated health services, and of course, our office, International Admissions and Programs, who support international students in their admission process. These are the pictures of our most recent buildings. On the left side, at the beautiful recreation center. We also have Residence Hall, Hunter Hall, and a STEM building as well. And everyone probably knows what STEM is. STEM is science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So these are some of the student testimonials, what they say about UHCL. So I will just briefly mention that a student says that they like the student ratio. It's only 14:1 in a classroom. So you have easy access to professors and to students as well. Another student said that UHCL made his life very easy and comfortable. The third student said that that was a very right choice for him to choose UHCL. He liked Houston weather, the academic programs that were offered, and a very beautiful campus, and that is true. Okay, and so that was a brief information about school, and now we can go to the application process. So application process consists only a few steps, and I always tell students that you need to be prepared to apply so that you don't have any gap, any delay in between every step of the process. So the first step is to apply online, and the website that is a student have to apply is called Apply Texas. That is a separate website from UHCL. It does not belong to UHCL. So it's a big platform where a lot of students apply from different schools, or for different schools, I should say. So once student applies there and pays the application fee for a national student is $75. So then in a couple of days, UHCL will receive their admission application, and they will send an automated message to the student with login instructions into EServices. So what is EServices? EServices is part of the internal UHCL database. It's a portal where student can log in, look at the admission application status, see the documents required, upload the document, and see the to-do list. And to-do list is what they need to do to finish the application. So EServices is a direct access given to students so that they can upload documents. Okay, so this is 3 and 4. And then once they upload documents, admission counselors will review the documents for accuracy, for evaluations. They will calculate GPA, and then they will send admission application file to the college of the student's major. So whatever programs they chose, for instance, if they chose MBA, business administration, then admission application file will be sent to the College of Business. If student applied for computer science, then file will be sent to the College of Science and Engineering. So college will make a decision, and once they make a decision, student will be notified immediately by email with attached admission letter that they've been admitted, and then they have to apply for visa and arrive to attend new student orientation. A new student orientation is mandatory. So these are the steps briefly. So it's not that many steps. However, each step will allow some time for student to prepare and also for admission counselors to review. Okay, so these are the application documents, and I combine them for both undergraduate students and graduate. So when we say undergraduate in America, that means the student is applying for bachelor degree. When we say graduate program, that means student is applying for master's degree. Master can be Masters of Arts, Master of Education, Master of Sciences. So undergraduate is a bachelor, graduate is master's degree. So this is a total list of documents the students have to submit if they apply for undergraduate and graduate. And I will go through a separate slide to explain each of them. Of course, a student has to submit all transcripts. Transcripts have to be submitted in the original language of the country if it's not English, and they have to be followed by English translation. And translation has to be done by one of the approved companies that is on UHCL website. You cannot just go to a regular translator. Also, all mark sheets and grade sheets for every semester, for every school the student attended, must be submitted as well in either English, or if it's not in English, then in original language and English translation. Degree completion, which includes, for instance, certificate of high school, or if you completed bachelor degree, then it would be a certificate of a bachelor degree or copy of diploma. So those also have to be submitted. And then come entrance tests. For graduate students, the entrance standardized entry test or entrance test is GRE or GMAT. GMAT mostly for College of Business, but they also accept GRE. This is a graduate entrance exam. And then for undergraduate students, there is a test called SAT, ACT. You probably are familiar with that. It's also an entrance exam. So currently this test is waived due to pandemic. This test is waived for spring admission semester, for summer, and for the fall. So all 3 semesters, students don't have to submit this test. Now, graduate test is still required by most of the programs, but there are some certain programs that allow test waiver, but you need to check the website of that program. In addition to these documents, there may be documents that are required for specific programs. For instance, some programs require resume, letters of recommendations, and statement of purpose. So most of these programs are in the College of Human Sciences and Humanities, but also College of Business as well, and College of Science and Engineering. Now, if program does not require to submit these documents, applicant doesn't need to upload them. However, it's recommended if you have accomplishment or achievements and you have employment record that deserves attention, then yes, you should upload those as well. So in addition to all this, every international student has to provide a proof for English proficiency. English proficiency is a separate test that students can take. So, and UHCL accepts several tests. One of them is IELTS, TOEFL, PTE, Duolingo, and such. So any test students wishes to take, that's fine. Making sure that Duolingo is not accepted by the College of Education programs, but it is accepted by all 3 other colleges: College of Business, College of Science and Engineering, and Human Sciences and Humanities. So all these documents are required for admission, to make an admission decision. These documents in yellow are needed for F1 visa status. So if an international student is looking to obtain F1 visa status, then they need to submit copy of passport, affidavit of support, that's in a financial document which has to be signed by sponsor, bank statement or scholarship letter, and statement of understanding form. So a little more about transcripts. What is considered official transcript? Official transcript is the one that is attested by the registrar, principal, controller examinations of the schools that applicants studied, or responsible head of the office where records are kept. It can be also attested by Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So technically, transcripts have to be issued by dedicated unit or office of the schools that normally issues those transcripts. So if transcript is not in English, but in your native language, home country language, then it has to be translated by one of the companies that is approved by UHCL. So you can choose a company from either this website or this website, doesn't matter. So it can be translated by the college that issued these documents or consulate embassy approved English translator. Transcript might clearly indicate the date of attendance, all courses that have been taken, and grades received. All attempts, even if they were failed attempts, they have to be included as well. So because UHCL admission policy requires us to calculate GPA based on all attempts. So if you're looking for a graduate program, you don't need to spend money on credential evaluation report because our admission counselors will evaluate your transcripts and calculate GPAs themselves. So please note that consolidated mark sheets are not considered as official transcript. Okay, English language proficiency, as I mentioned, there are several tests that UHCL can accept from students. You can choose, the applicant chooses themselves which test is better for them. We don't recommend one test over another. Most popular test that I see is IELTS, and the test has to be 6.0 at least. It can be higher, but not less. Duolingo is one of the very popular tests, has to be 105 or higher. Paper, TOEFL, 550 and 79 on IBT, and PTE exam has to be at least 53. We also accept ELS course, level 112. Okay. So who qualifies for English proficiency waiver, which means you don't need to submit English proficiency. So students who received education in a country where English is a native language, even if you are not from that country. For instance, you are from China, but you received your bachelor degree, say in England or Australia or Canada, then we will take that, we will take those transcripts, we will review them, and you may request an English proficiency waiver. If you have completed high school in the United States, you received associate degree or bachelor degree in the United States, then you also may request English proficiency waiver. If you are applying for graduate school and your GRE verbal score is at least 11% or higher, then you may request an English proficiency waiver. Okay. If you are applying for an undergraduate degree as a freshman, which means you have not had any undergraduate level courses before, then you normally need the SAT, ACT test score. However, as I mentioned earlier, this test is waived up until fall 22. That's an excellent opportunity now to apply for undergraduate program. So the graduate point average GPA for a freshman has to be at least 2.50, okay, on a 4-point scale. Of course, student has to submit high school transcripts, the transcripts that will be an equivalent of a high school in the United States, not entire school, like a secondary school, only the years that would be equivalent to high school. Okay, if any courses that were taken at the university, for instance, those courses will require a credential evaluation report. So this is transfer admission requirements. I'm going to skip this because this is only for those students who transferring from American school to UHCL. Okay, as a graduate applicant, remember graduate is a master's programs. Applicant has to submit transcripts, mark sheets, and translations if necessary. Proof of degree, proof of prior degree, whether it's a bachelor or another master's, for instance, and translation if necessary. Most of the programs do require GRE or GMAT, a graduate standard entrance exam. And of course, some programs do require additional documents, like for instance, letter of recommendation, resume, or work experience. So once student submits their admission application and applied taxes and receives email from UHCL how to log in into this massive database PeopleSoft with EServices Portal, student can upload all their documents there. So there will be a list of documents, so they can go and upload everything: transcripts, copy of passport, financial support, resume if needed, proof of degree and such. So everything can be uploaded there. In addition to that, applicant has to mail transcripts to our office, official transcript, so that we can authenticate the ones that have been uploaded in EServices. Okay. And also, in addition, applicant has to request testing centers where they've been taking tests, like English proficiency test or GRE test or SAT test. They have to request those agencies to submit their test results directly to UHCL by electronic report. So those two things are mandatory in addition to uploading documents into EServices. Some documents can be emailed to us. However, we no longer accept documents by email because everything can be uploaded into EServices. And it's very easy. Once student receives login, they can go ahead and upload. And I will show that in a different database. So these are the national application deadlines. So we have same deadlines every year, so it's easy, except for those programs that may have different deadlines, like those unique programs that only accept students once a year for full semester. And so some of those programs are in College of Human Science and Humanities, but they also may be in College of Business as well. So the deadlines for the spring semester, priority deadline is August 1st, final November 1st. So what is priority? Priority, if you apply by this date, you will receive a priority admission decision. And you may also get selected for the scholarship. So it's always better to apply prior to priority deadline rather than the final deadline. Like for instance, for the spring 22 admission semester, the final deadline is November 1st. So students can still apply. However, the chances, they will have more chances to be selected for the scholarship if they apply by priority deadline. So the next semester is mostly fall. That's what students like to start their academic year. So for the fall, priority deadline is March 1st if you are interested to apply, and the final is June 1st. Okay. All right. Expenses. So that's how much the school costs. I'll tell you that we are affordable. Our numbers are less, a little bit less than other schools, but they are more or less almost the same with every other public school. So private schools charge more money, of course, than a public school. So graduate student who is applying for master's program will pay this amount of money for one academic year. One academic year in the United States includes 2 long semesters, fall semester and spring semester. Summer is normally optional. Students don't have to register in summer. So for 2 semesters, 1 academic year, the tuition and fees is this amount. For undergraduate students, bachelor students is this. Health insurance and books, estimate is, this is an estimate, numbers as you see here, and living costs the same for graduate student and undergrad. It doesn't really matter. So these are the estimates. It doesn't mean that this money will all be spent, but our office has to put an official estimate so that student who wants F1 visa status should show us that they have enough money to support themselves during their academic program in the United States. Okay, so as you see, these are the amounts kind of high amounts, I would say, but please be assured that every other school charges the same or higher, much higher amount. So it's specifically in the state of Texas. Now, so these amounts are based on out-of-state tuition. So what does it mean? Every school has two rates. One of them is in-state and another one out-of-state. When we say in-state, that means in the state of Texas. Out-of-state, out of Texas state. So if someone was born in the United States, but lived all their and lived there all their life in New York, for instance, or California, and they want to come and study at UHCL, and they have not lived 1 year in Texas, they will be paying as international student. So there is not a separate rate for international students. There are only two rates. Someone comes out of state, out of Texas, and pays the same amount as someone comes across the ocean from India, China, Ukraine, Vietnam, and such. So these are out-of-state rates. So as to living costs, students choose their apartments themselves. We don't tell them where to live. There is no mandatory requirement to live on campus. So students choose whatever they find best for them. It can be less than this amount, but it can also be more than this. So it depends on where you find your residence, okay? You can share a room, you can have your own apartment in a luxury area of Houston or more safe, efficient. Okay, so let's talk about Hope Transfer Scholarship. So this is scholarship specifically for students who are transferring from American school to UHCL. So the scholarship does not require an application, but if student is selected for this program, then they will pay in-state tuition. And if you remember, let's go back. If you remember, I was explaining this was out of state, okay? Now in-state would be twice less. So if student gets a scholarship, they will pay same amount as a student who lived all their life in Texas. So that's what it means. So twice less, it would be what around $10,000 for entire academic year. Okay. So the next great scholarship is Hawk Scholar Scholarship. Remember, the first one was only for those who transferring from American school to UHCL. This one is for undergraduate student or graduate and international students. So this is excellent, excellent scholarship. So the eligibility criteria is that student has to have 3.0 or higher GPA. The higher GPA, the better chance to get the scholarship. The student can apply if they have 3.0, but it doesn't mean that they will get it. The higher GPA, the better. However, if student applies by priority deadline and by priority scholarship deadline, then there are more chances to get the scholarship. So as a result of the scholarship, student will receive $1,000 for the academic year and in-state tuition. Remember those numbers? So cut them twice. So that will be the amount that a student will pay with a scholarship. So this scholarship has its own deadline. So for the spring semester, the final deadline is November 1st. For the fall semester, priority is April 15 and the final is May 15. This scholarship is renewable for 2 additional semesters. So it's very advantageous for students who apply for graduate programs because technically it may cover entire program. Besides these 2 scholarships, there are a lot of other scholarships, but these are entry scholarship, which means you can get it before you begin your school. Each college of UHCL has a long list of scholarship, the College of Business, College of Science and Engineering, but those scholarships are mostly for those students who are continuing students and study already at UHCL. But this scholarship is specifically for those that just have been admitted and before they began their studies. Okay, what happens after admission? So if you are looking for an F1 visa status, then we will issue an immigration document, which will be a visa support document, which is called I-20. Here it is, I-20, and I stands for immigration. That's an immigration document. So our office has an access to the federal database where we enter students' information and issue I-20 forms. So based on admission letter and documents provided, remember that those highlighted in yellow: financial support, copy of passport, bank statement. If we have those documents, we will issue I-20 and we'll send it to the student. Based on that I-20, student will prepare for the interview at the US Embassy or consulate. They will have to pay federal fee to the government, for the federal government. Then they will schedule appointment at US Embassy, and then they will arrive to UHCL to study. So even if admission process may go quickly, like say applicant receives admission decision fast. However, obtaining visa may take a long time. That's why we always recommend to begin the process very early, to get admission early, so that you have plenty of time to schedule visa. Because, you know, before COVID pandemic, visa appointments were not so difficult to schedule. And then we were hit by this pandemic, and every embassy has shut down, or even now they are working on a limited basis. So it became very difficult, and for some students almost impossible to receive visa, even with admission letter. That's why we always recommend to begin process very early, so that you have enough time to apply for visa and obtain it. So that's how I-20 form looks like. I just decided to include this slide so that you can see it. Again, I stands for immigration. So this is an immigration document that has student information, school information, program information that they choose, which program, and financial information as well. So student will have to sign at the bottom, take it to the US Embassy, and apply for visa. So during COVID pandemic, we were providing classes online, and some of them were hybrid as well. But as of this semester, all classes went back to face-to-face. But there are some certain programs that provide online classes and a hybrid mode, which combines face-to-face and online. International students, based on the federal regulation, have to attend classes physically. So they have to go to school, actually. They have to be in the class. They may take one online class as per federal regulations, but majority has to be face-to-face. I just included this slide as well about COVID-19. School provides different variety of resources. We have dedicated health services office. We provide vaccines free. Besides our office, everywhere in Houston, you can find a grocery, a pharmacy that will provide vaccine for free. Health services at UHCL also has a variety of other vaccines if students choose to do. So they can connect with them and inquire about vaccination. All right, so this is a final slide with social media. We are on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and such. So you can find us everywhere. All right. I hope I explained it well. So let me just stop sharing. Okay. And I wanted to show you the database that student uses where they can upload the documents. Just give me a second. I will log in quickly and we'll show you the page. This is how it looks in an internal database of UHCL, which is called EServices Portal. So this is a students center. So you will see students ID here, and you will see the to-do list. So to-do list will show which documents students need to upload to finish the admission application process. And then you click on upload button, and so the applicant can upload all the documents. Once they upload, student counselors, admission counselors will review, accept, and they remove these items from the to-do list. Student has everything here. Student has a class schedule. Student will see how much they're gonna pay when they register for classes. They have their biographical data, emails, everything. So this is a big portal that has academics page, finances. For instance, if student receives a scholarship, it will be listed under financial aid and general information. So this is how it looks in internal PeopleSoft database. Okay, so I stop sharing. So was that helpful? Please let me know what I missed. What else would you like to know? As I said, we have more than 90 programs. It's difficult for me to present about all those programs, but I will, after this, maybe tomorrow, I will send the list of all programs that are offered by UHCL, undergraduate and graduate, that if anyone is interested, you may look at the program webpage. And that's the best information resource, because on that page, you will see how popular the major is, where you can find employment. You can see degree plan, you can see admission requirements, you can see where the program is offered on campus, on which campus, online. You can see the faculty who teach this program. You can connect with them as well. So it's a wonderful information resource. But again, there are so many programs that it's hard for me to present on each program, but every college has unique programs, highly accredited and with academic distinctions. So I would say that school, because the school is not too big, school is proud to provide very good services and support to every student. That's why it's very popular among transferred students transferring from big schools to UHCL because of a class size, because it's not overwhelming. You can reach out to the professor, to the faculty, to the staff for any support or any questions. Okay. I guess I've covered my part, and now I'm ready for your questions.
Hello, there's already a questions from our agents. So I have a question. If the student does not have SAT for undergraduate or GRE or GMAT for graduate admission, so will UHCL offer conditional admission for this case?
Okay, so first of all, if student does not have SAT, remember SAT is not required. It has been waived because of pandemic up until fall semester 22. So if someone wants to apply without SAT, they can do it without it. So it's not required. It's not required for spring, summer, or fall. Okay, so that's number one. Now, what happens after fall 22? I don't know whether this waiver will still be in effect or maybe they will remove it. But right now is an excellent time to apply. Now, if student does not have GRE test, they may request a waiver. However, the college will make a decision based on admission policy. If admission policy does not allow a waiver, then the student will not be admitted. if a student has some other accomplishments like or achievements, or they have won prizes in academic competition, or they have designed something or developed something, or they have several years of work experience with excellent record, so they may request waiver based on those additional documents, but it's not guaranteed that they will get an admission. And we do not have a so-called conditional admission based on the lack of the admission requirement. We do have a conditional admission based on courses that student has taken prior to admission that may not be fully satisfying the admission criteria for the program. So the student may be admitted, but they will be required to take those courses, which we call them prerequisites. For instance, if as they are applying for computer science, but they are lacking some of the foundational course in their prior program, then the student may be admitted, but they will be required to take that course during first semester. So that's what conditional admission means. All right. So I see another question arrived. Okay, the second question is.
I will read the questions for you. So yeah, so about English proficiency waiver. So will it be applied for the one who attended the RMIT University in Vietnam? That is the Australian University in Vietnam. So for students who got a bachelor degree and want to apply for another undergraduate program at UHCL, the university will assess GPA for high school or the various university. Then you will consider the GPA at high school or the various university. And in case the student need to defer to the next intake after getting I-20, do they need to pay the application fee again? So there will be three parts of the questions. The first one, for the student who have who attend the Australian University in Vietnam. So will they be waived of English proficiency proof? The second one is about.
Okay, let's do question and answer.
Yeah.
So that will be easier for us to answer and for the audience to remember. Okay, the first question, as I understand, someone attended an Australian university in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So university teaches in English because it's Australian university, I understand. However, the policy of UHCL for English proficiency waiver is that your student has to receive the education in a country where English is native. So regretfully, that may not work. Okay, because that's the admission policy, and usually they follow the admission policy.
Right. And the second part is considering for the second bachelor degree. So will the UHCL count on the GPA of the high school or the GPA of the previous bachelor degree?
Okay, if someone has a bachelor degree and they want to apply for another bachelor degree, yes, they will provide transcripts of the bachelor degree, but they have to do a credential evaluation. Okay, so there are two options for this applicant actually. If they have already bachelor completed, they may apply it as a post-bachelor student, which means some of the courses may be taken into consideration so that they will be considered post-bachelor. So it's will not be a full new bachelor program, but post-bachelor. So in that case, student will have to do credential evaluation report of the bachelor courses, okay? And then that report will go to UHCL transfer unit, where they will review those courses that were taken and consider them for credits. I don't know whether they will be fully accepted or not. It will be up to that office. However, that can be possible that some of the courses may be considered for credit, so the student does not lose entire prior bachelor program if they want to apply for another bachelor. So there will be no need to go from zero and to do another bachelor, but they will be considered as a post-bachelor student with potentially other credits that they have received during that bachelor. So that would be, I think, the best option for that applicant.
The last one is about a deferment. So if the student defer to the next intake of the I-20, so do they have to pay the application fee again? Do they have to apply again? In short.
Okay, so that's an excellent question, because yes, if student, for instance, applied and for some reasons, their own reasons or beyond control, they couldn't come to school, they can defer the attendance to the next semester. So they can defer attendance even if they didn't get admission decision, or if even they got admission decision. It can also be deferred without additional application fee. So for instance, student was applied for fall 22, fall 21, did not get admission letter, did not have time to finish their application process, so they can defer to spring 21. If they received admission decisions, they can also defer to the next semester. So in that case, they don't pay application fee, but they have to submit for I-20 forms. They will have to submit a new financial statement and affidavit of support.
Okay, that's good. So another questions about the transcript evaluation. So can the student translate their documents right in Vietnam and then submit to the NACAS for transcript evaluation?
Yes, NACAS. Yes, that's a like a consolidated website of all kind of companies that can do credentials. Yes, any company from that list is perfectly okay.
Okay, so we can do
as long as on that list.
Yeah. Okay. So we can do the translation first. We don't have to just submit the Vietnamese. Vietnamese. Sorry, we don't have to just send the original. We can do the translations first in Vietnam and then we can evaluate.
Well, actually, it's two separate things. So we're talking about credential evaluation report or the translation. If it is translation, then the student has to submit the document in native language and then translated by NSCAS, or the other website is American Translator. So yes, they can do it. They can do it in Vietnam because it's done electronically online. They can connect with the company and request them to translate. Yes, but if they also have some bachelor undergraduate level courses, then they have to do also credential evaluation report, also by one of those companies.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that clear?
I think that's good.
Okay.
Tanya, Tanya, may I confirm your ideas regarding to the recent question? The first case is for the undergraduate student. They just need to the translated transcript by any NACAs, and they doesn't need evaluation. So for this case, we just need to send the original transcript to NACAs for translation. And for the second case, for who they apply for the graduate programs, they need the transcript evaluation. So we will translate the transcript here in Vietnam and then submit to NACA for evaluation.
Okay, so let's start from the beginning. So if student applies for undergraduate bachelor degree based on high school, so they don't have anything else taken, only high school completed. Of course, secondary school, whatever it was, but only high school will be considered to calculate their GPA. So what does student submit? Student submits transcripts of high schools that have to be translated into English, okay, by one of the companies that is on NACAS or American translator. Only translation, okay? They don't have to do evaluation because GPA will be calculated by admission counselors of UHCL. So that's for someone who applies for bachelor based on high school diploma. Now, if that student who applies for bachelor also has attempted to study somewhere else at a bachelor level, then students have to submit also credential report of those undergraduate courses. And that credential report has to be performed, completed by the company listed on NACAS website. If student applies for graduate degree, master's degree, they don't have to do credential report. Okay, they can only submit transcripts and translations of transcripts and proof of diploma, because they'll be applying based on bachelor in most cases. If they have additional masters and they want to apply for additional masters, they can also submit masters as well. So is that clear? So a student applies for a graduate master program, so they have to submit transcripts of bachelor program, proof of degree. If needed, translation has to be made by approved company only, okay? But they don't have to do credential evaluation. Student who applies for undergraduate degree based on high school, they don't have to do credential evaluation. They have to submit transcripts of high schools and proof of certificate or diploma of high school. If necessary, translation, because if it's not in English, then it has to be translated by the approved company. If student has applying for undergraduate degree, but also has completed some undergraduate courses at the university besides high school, then student has to do credential evaluation. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
it. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Very good. Yeah, I know it's a little bit confusing, but it's all on our website listed, so I can send the link to that.
Yeah, and in terms of the transcript, besides uploading the transcript to EServices, the student also mailed the original transcript to the international office as well, right?
Yes, but when we say original, we don't say original, we say official. Yeah. So we don't want student to send only one original of a degree completion, because it's diploma. We don't want them to put send to the original diploma, because it's only one copy that they have. What we want is official, and official means that it has to be issued by the registrar, attested by examination of controller, and all those acceptable parties that are listed on our website. And again, I will send the link so the student can see what is considered official for our purposes, so that they, yes, besides uploading official copies into EServices, they also have to mail official copies to our office, because our admission counselors have to authenticate and compare them whether the copy was uploaded is the same as a official copy.
Yeah, so the steps will actually like the followed. Such, for example, the student will do the translation or the evaluated the transcript by the approved companies, and then upload it into the EServices. And besides that, they also send the official transcript and degrees or certificates, if applicable, to the international offices.
Right, and translation.
Yeah, yeah, we got it.
Very good. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, we have two agents raise their hands, so I would like to invite Ms. Tui first. Yeah,
Okay.
please go ahead, Ms. Thuy. Please unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. Hi, Tanya. May I ask about relate to the official transcript? A little bit complicated in the for transcript in Vietnam, because almost the high school in Vietnam just issued one original only, and then we can certify. We will have a copy and it's certified by the notary office, and then we can translate. So I wonder if that piece will be assessed like an official transcript or not.
So I'm gonna read you the policy again. So what it says. So official transcript must be attested by the
Yeah.
registrar, principal of the school. So control of examinations, responsible head of the office where records are kept, such as degrees, diplomas, grades,
Yeah.
Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So all those organizations may attest the transcript. I understand that it's only issued as original, yes, but then you will request the transcript and
We can
attest it
request
by
the principal or the head of
Yes,
university
exactly.
verify, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I just want to come back the question regarding to the Waiver English proficiency, because on your presentation you mentioned that the student in the China, if they study in the school or they get the qualification certified by the UK or the US, something like that. So that case can be waived English, right? But I just wonder, because I have a student who will finish the undergraduate program from the Australia university, but campus in Vietnam. So he cannot be waived English.
Yes, the only education we will accept as a waiver to English proficiency requirement is if student received their program and been educated in a country where English is native. So and there is a list of those countries like Australia, Canada, Great Britain, Nigeria, for instance. So, but China is not on the list. Vietnam is not on the list. So students from those countries, India is not on the list. Even students in India speak English because some of the courses are in English, but it's not on the list. So it's not considered a country where English is native. It's considered a country where English is spoken as a second language, but not native. So that's why English proficiency waiver will not apply.
Oh. Okay. I just, because they still have some school in some college or in Canada still accept the student who got the degree from in the university from a native language, the native language is English, but based on the campus based on in Vietnam.
I understand.
Okay.
I will verify that again with a director tomorrow, just in case, for any, maybe they will make some exceptions, but the policy is that it has to be native language.
Yeah. Okay. I hope to get the good news from you.
Okay, I'll put down that question so that I can verify.
Yeah, because almost that student must have English qualify for entry requirement of the Australia university, just different campus.
I understand.
Okay, thank you, Tanya.
Yeah, because Tanya, most of the university, they accept to waive the English requirement for the student who've complete the program and get the degrees if their programs are taught in English, totally in
Okay.
English. Yeah, no matter
Yes,
where the
I
campus
will
is.
find out that. Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to find out that.
Yeah, thank you, Ms. Thuy. And Ms. Tan, please raise your question. Yeah.
Yeah, hello everybody. Hello Tanya. Yeah, I'm so
Hello.
interested. Yeah, in the information about the master degree, and you said that the some of the credits should be applied when applying for the master degree. But I'm wondering if it is applied for the doctor degree. For example, the Doctor of Education Management. How can the candidates apply for this one?
I'm sorry, for a
Yeah.
management information system, or which program?
I'm interested in the PhD, the PhD, the doctor, yeah, the doctor. But yeah, that is about
we don't have a doctorate degree in that major.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Sorry, we don't have. We do have a doctorate degree in education, but not in that program.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. And
So I see another question that just arrived from Lee.
Yeah.
I hope I pronounced it
Yeah.
correctly. As far as I know, there is a policy in Texas that if student attends any high schools within Texas for a specific time, they will be approved for an institution. Can you explain on this? So that only applies if student has studied 3 years in high school, 3 years in high school, and graduated from high school. Then they will be eligible to pay in-state tuition, so that like all other students from Texas, based on House Bill 1403, and that's HB 1403, and it's a state regulation that allows students to apply based on 3 years of high school, but they have to complete the form and prove that they have been residing in Texas and such. So they have to submit the documents. So, and students can qualify, but students have to be 3 years, full 3 years in high school.
Can I add some questions regarding this? So how long will that policy will last for this case?
It's just been a policy for a long time.
For whole year, given that the undergraduate program, so that will be lasting for 4 years.
I'm not aware that it may end soon. I have not heard that. I know that this has been a policy for a long time, as far as I've been.
I mean, the application of the policy for the student who qualify as the high school graduate in Texas. So when they enter the freshman year, they will their tuition will be resident tuition, and that will be for 4 years of his course, or just the first.
Oh yeah. You mean for the how long for the duration?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely, for entire program. Yes.
Yeah. And about the student who has the freshman scholarship, so as long as they get the scholarship, the policy will be applied. And when they enter the year 2 or year 3, year 4 without a scholarship, they will pay the international student tuition, right?
So I'm a little bit confused with your question. So if student had 3 years at high school, okay,
No,
so they qualify for Texas residency. So
Yes.
once they enter university,
Yes.
to pursue undergraduate program,
Yes.
so they will be paying in-state tuition for entire program, whatever it takes, 4 years, 5 years,
Okay.
how long as they study, they will be paying in-state tuition as a domestic student.
Okay.
Okay,
And
so
about another case, like the international student cases, they have the scholarship. A student they got the scholarship, and they qualify for the institution, but the institution policy only apply when they have the scholarship. For example,
that's correct.
Yeah,
That is
for
correct.
example, so later they got in year 3 they don't have that scholarship anymore. So the international
That is absolutely correct. If for instance they reapplied for a different scholarship or for the same scholarship, and if they did not receive it, normally if they were approved for the first year of scholarship, if they continue the GPA, the same required GPA, they will be approved for the second year. Now, this scholarship, HUG scholarship, is renewable for 1 additional year, for 2 additional semesters. So if someone is applying for a graduate master's degree, then that will be very excellent chance to be paying as an in-state tuition, as a domestic student.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it is undergraduate program, then it might not be for entire program. But as I said, every college has a long list of scholarships, so they may receive other scholarships.
Yeah, Tanya, I have a following up question for this case. So the merit scholarship will last maximum for the first 2 years. For example, if the students study bachelor degree, they will have the chance to get the scholarship for up. The maximum is two first year, and the last 2 year, they will not be applied for this scholarship anymore. So for this case, they also pay the international student tuition for the last 2 years as well, right?
If they don't get any other scholarship. But remember, there are plenty of other scholarships. In EServices, there is a very long list of scholarships. So if they don't get anything else, yes, they'll be paying as an international student. But there are a lot of financial aid offered by UHCL and scholarships as well. So there are some ways to, pay through entire program.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, there is another question, is back for the English translation. Again, if the local university can issue both Vietnamese and English transcript, official and stamped by the university, do the student need to get the transcript translated? No. If the transcript is in English, issued in English, there is no translation necessary. So if the school can issue transcript in English, that's perfect. Then translation is not required. Okay.
I think very informative today. So I will have the one sentence in Vietnamese to ask for more if our agents have more questions. Dạ, thì buổi training của chúng ta đến đây cũng gần kết thúc, thì không biết là anh chị agent còn câu hỏi nào cho cô Tanya không ạ? Và ngoài ra thì bên em có sau buổi training này thì có gửi ra những cái marketing materials cũng như là file PDF của cô, thì mọi người có thể là gửi cho em cái địa chỉ email thông qua cái đường link ở đây. Em sẽ pass cái đường link ở đây, mọi người đăng ký thông tin để em gửi cái thông tin sau buổi training này.
Vũ ơi, cho chị hỏi một câu cho cô nha.
Dạ vâng, dạ chị có hỏi ạ.
Hi Miss Tanya, my name is Karen. I have a question for you about the processing time for the undergraduate application for international students from Vietnam. How long for the processing time for the I-20 ESU?
Okay, how much processing time? It's
Yes.
It's several days. It may be up to 5 days. It may be up to 7 days. It depends. It depends on the documents that we received, to review them, to accept them. And it also depends, all requests are processed in the order they are received. So if there is a big influx of students, then it may take a little bit more, but normally it's, within a couple of days, up to 5 days.
5 days. Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome.
Hi, Tanya. May I ask about the evaluation? evaluation
Yes.
transcript just apply
Uh.
for the international student who outside the US, or it's applied for the student who transfer from another college in the US?
So if they are, transferring to us from another American college, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then it's easy. It's very easy. They request their school to send transcripts directly to us. That's all is necessary. There is no evaluation, nothing is required because it's American school. So all we need is a transcript received by mail. Usually schools do it themselves. Student orders transcript to be sent to that of the school, and the registrar office that issues transcript sends them to the school.
Okay, thank you.
You're so welcome. Okay. Any other questions?
I think the questions is out, and we can wrap up the online training right here. So thank you so much, Tanya, for very support and informative presentation today, and thank you our agents for logging in, for chatting with us, and learn more about the University of Houston Clear Lake. So if you have any questions, you can come back to us, and we will send out the documents, the marketing materials, and also the presentation today. So good night, Tanya. Hope you have a nice.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I wanted to say one more thing. First of all, thank you very much for listening to me, and thank you for your questions. I was very happy to assist you. I just wanted to say that agents recruiting students have to also upload the agency partner form into our agency database, which is called IRA, International Recruiting Agency. We call it abbreviation IRA database. So you need to create a record and upload agency partner form to be considered for commissions list. This is just temporary because as of fall 22, the students who are applying and recruited by agents will choose the agency name right on the admission application. So this is just a temporary before we're working with IT to speed up this process and allow agents to work more efficiently. So I previously explained about that website. I just want to mention it again so that in order for a student record to be considered as a commissions list, we need an agency partner form to be uploaded into IRA portal. Okay.
Yeah, sure. I think our the CB BCA will have the our partners with the information on agents. I think.
Okay. Very good then. Very good. Okay. Thank you so much for your time and inviting me. If you have any further questions, please let me know.
Yeah, sure. I will bother you.
Okay. Very good then. You have a nice day, and I will have a good night now.
Yeah, good night to you, and we'll
Okay.
carry on with our day. Thank you.
All right. Very good. All right. So I'm leaving your Zoom. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.